So the last time I made a pet peeves video, I was 30 something weeks pregnant and I had major hormonal crazy excitement happening. I don't know the word. And this time I wanted to do a postpartum pet peeves video because let's face it, when you become a parent, there are certain things that just get under your skin. I can't really complain when it comes to motherhood. I love my daughter. I love being a mom. So most of these things, pretty much all of them, have nothing to do with my baby. They have to do with other people or other circumstances. And these are all things that I probably saw on a daily basis before I was a mom, but they never bothered me before. The first one is lack of changing stations or lack of any table at all to change your baby on. Last Mother's Day, we went to a really fancy restaurant here in Orlando, and I went to the bathroom with my 1-month-old daughter who was screaming and crying, and I had to change her diaper, and I went in there and the bathroom was like this big and there was no changing station or anything. So it was in a hotel. So I walk up to the hotel clerk and I'm like, hey, you know, I need to change my daughter. Is there a place where I can change her? And they were like it was a foreign language to them. Put changing stations in your bathrooms because you got babies coming in. And if you don't put changing stations in your bathrooms, then, you know, you're not going to get the younger generation coming in and you're going to lose service. And yeah, I just notice everywhere I go now, it's like, there's a lot of places that don't have it. So you're just supposed to change your baby in the middle of the restaurant while you're eating? That makes a lot of sense. Number 2, people who tell me I'm spoiling my daughter by holding her, letting her sleep with me, etc., etc., etc. I'm sorry that I love my daughter so much that I just want to cater to her needs. I'm sorry that makes you think that I'm spoiling her, but she's so young. She doesn't know what spoiling is, okay? If she was like 2 years old and she was sleeping with me every night and like I knew that she knew what she was doing, then I could see what you're saying, but she's 5-month-old, so please don't tell me I'm spoiling her. Number 3 is when people have a problem with breastfeeding. This isn't 1955. There are many women now who are breastfeeding in public with and without covers. Now I breastfeed with a cover because that's how I feel comfortable. Of course, Eden's starting to get at the stage now where she doesn't like the cover, but I still breastfeed with a cover. But you know, I've gotten complaints from people and I've gotten stares and I've gotten remarks and looks, and it's like, what is your guys' problem? Like, this is how you feed a baby. Boobs are made for babies. This is, like I said, this is something that never bothered me before. But now that I have a baby and now that I'm a mom and I have to go to a special room or a special bathroom to feed my baby, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to. A few months back, a situation happened where I was told to go to a bathroom and I said no, and they pretty much like forced me to go. And so since then I've been prepared. Like, if anyone says anything to me, I know my rights. It's not about an act of like rebelling. It's just an act of like, I think it's ignorance on their part, saying that, you know, kind of setting you apart from the rest of the world and saying that you have to go to a special room to breastfeed. It's wrong. Like, I should be able to be in the same room as everybody else. And that just annoys me. Number 4 are doors that don't automatically open. Now, sometimes it's okay. If it's like a really light door, I can, you know, pull around with my stroller and kind of like open it with my butt. I'm sure most of you moms know what I'm talking about. You have to like do the whole thing. Back it up into the door. There's some heavy doors, like the one at the mall, like Macy's, JCPenney, those doors that are like this thick. And so literally you're like, it takes like an army of men to open it, and when you have a baby stroller, like, you can't open it. So most of the time it's just me fumbling through the door like, and people are just like staring at me. Thanks a lot. Thanks for getting the door. Thanks for helping me. No. In a perfect world for moms, every door would open like this, the hair blowing in the breeze and everything. But that's just not how it is. Number 5 is, now that I'm a mom, running errands is not a simple task. It's like a full day venture. First, you gotta like kind of schedule your day. Like, if I feed her now, then maybe she'll sleep in the car right there. But then once I get there, I have to take her out of her car seat, or leave her in the car seat, but put her into the stroller. And so therefore she might wake up. So I might have to feed her at this time. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I'd rather just leave the house without her, you know? But sometimes you have no other choice. So I have to bring her along, and it's like, it's almost like a full day of activities when you're just going to like the post office and the store. It takes like 5 hours sometimes. I wish things were easier. I wish there were like people at the post office who met me at my car and like watched my baby. Oh wait, that's kind of weird. Never mind. 6 is when people say, Oh, honey, enjoy them while they're young. They grow way too quickly. You gonna make me cry again? Seriously. I've seen my daughter grow from newborn to 5, almost 6 months. And that's emotional enough. Please don't tell me how my daughter's gonna be 16 years old and she's gonna hate me and scream and run around and hate my life and hate her life and everything. I already know those things, so thank you very much for telling me, but I'm going to appreciate my baby the way she is right now. Thank you. Number 7 is when people give you advice about anything and everything, and it's the same people that gave you advice when you were pregnant and you didn't really listen to their advice or respond to it. So it's kind of surprising that they're still giving you their advice. But you know, it's like those funny things, like when they're holding your baby and they're like, oh my goodness, they talk in the baby voice like they're a baby. They're like, my goodness, mommy, my feet are cold. I need socks. Are you trying to tell me that I need to put socks on my baby? Oh, mommy, I'm hungry. I'm crying. She's crying because she doesn't like you, not because she's hungry. If you have a problem with the way I parent my child, why don't you just like flat out say it? Don't try to like beat around the bush. Number 8 is when your baby is peacefully and happily sleeping in their car seat and you have managed to take them out of the car into the stroller peacefully. They're still sleeping. That's a miracle in itself, right, people? And you're walking toward the store and there's a huge bump on the way to the store entrance. Like, ba-doom, 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 and your baby's like, and they wake up. Like, why don't you make the sidewalks flat, like all the way to the door? Why do you have to have huge store bumps in the front of your door? And then she wakes up and she's crying, and I'm like, well, I was gonna shop here, but never mind, see you later. Number 9 is the enormous amount of mommy guilt that you feel as a new mom. Like if you let your child, you know, cry for like a few minutes because you know they're tired and they need to sleep. So you put them down in their crib and you're hearing in your brain all the comments that people make like, don't put your kid down in their crib. You're gonna like ruin them for the rest of their life and they're gonna need therapy and lots of counseling and lots of help when they're older. Or, you know, if you're a mom that has to get on formula, you have that voice constantly in your head like, you are poisoning your child. You are poisoning your child. Or if you're not doing cloth diapers, it's like, you are spending way too much money. You will always have that like some sort of like mommy guilt. And I hate it, but that's like how it is. And I think as moms, we need to be like encouraging each other and lifting each other up and like, you know, like, you're doing a great job as mom, yay. But even in some of my videos, and I'm not even like a crunchy mom or any kind of mom that's like, oh, I got it all together. I don't think that at all. But even in my videos, people are commenting on my stuff, like trying to bash me in some areas. Not a lot of people, but there's been a few. And I'm like, why can't you just say something happy or something positive? You know, and we already feel all that guilt on ourselves already over the smallest, stupidest things. You guys know what I'm talking about. And we don't need people saying, why don't you parent this way? Why are you doing it like this? No, 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 no. It's just like, it really gets under your skin and it really discourages you, honestly. I think that was actually a big part of my postpartum depression is like the guilt I put upon myself. Not even necessarily the guilt that others put on me, but how I felt about myself. Number 10 is anyone and everyone who says, wow, you look so tired. Me? Tired? No. You must be thinking about that other mom who only got 2 hours of sleep last night. Think before you speak. Like, why would you say that to somebody who never sleeps? I don't understand it, okay? I just don't understand people. And half of those things have to do with people and the things they say. So, yeah. Like I said, motherhood is the best thing ever. I love it, and there's definitely way more positives than negatives, but I wanted to do this video for you guys because it was a much requested video. And, you know, it's just fun to talk about these things as moms and be able to kind of get them off our chests. As always, thank you for watching. Love you guys, and subscribe before you leave if you haven't yet. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Some of Eden's pet peeves include not getting the boobie in a certain amount of time. They also include not getting enough naps and not getting her poopy changed fast enough, right? Are those your pet peeves?